If I was the devil, I'm not saying that I am. But one thing I wouldn't want in hell with me is a Martin politician. They just make all kind of promises and they don't live up to none. With all the wheeling, dealing and misleading them vultures second to none. They gon' fool you up with sweet talks and all them fancy tricks. And just when you start to believe in them suckers jumping shit. Position, position is what they are fighting for. And when the opposition gets in position, they forget about the poor. Position, position. It's funny how things don't change. We have some in position, don't have no permission to make a decision for change. Tell them I ain't joking. So if they come in, they better come straight. Cause if you're coming looking position, don't come in front of me. Position! Come again!
Welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. I'm your host, Teacher Dick. It's all about the country's teachers today. Of course, our coverage continues of the industrial action by the Women Island Teachers Union. Yesterday, it was a big bacchanal. It started first when the president of the Women Island Teachers Union, Stuart Johnson, decided to send a letter out informing the Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports, aka the Minister of Nothing, that, hey, guys, we have a very urgent meeting on Tuesday because we're not happy with the reply you gave to us last week concerning the demands for public school teachers, also subsidized school teachers. Now, of course, the minister decided to react to the wonderful teachers and the Windward Island Teachers Union with the email and also a press statement stating that school is going on per normal on Tuesday and please let all your teachers know. That was a letter or an email sent to all the education, all the public schools on St. Martin. Now, you know St. Martin. You don't tell them what to do because the teachers are, the ones that are in charge of, taking care of our wonderful and educating our wonderful children of St. Martin. So they didn't listen to the Minister of Nothing. They decided to go to this important meeting of the Women Island Teachers Union because they want to know a bunch of things. They have a bunch of issues. And we know this was coming because the Women Island Teachers Union been communicating with the Ministry of Education, Culture, Youth and Sports and also the Prime Minister, trying to get a meeting. I think they met, deadlines were set, and nothing improved. So they were tired of hearing the bullshit of the Minister of Nothing and they decided to have meetings during school hours. So what did it mean? Did we have school or didn't we have school? First of all, the head of education decided to send out an email to the school managers with the wrong date. Instead of putting February the 7th, they put January the 7th. Obviously, there was teachers who wasn't going to listen to that because they noticed that there was an error. Therefore, the email wasn't applicable. Therefore, they was going to the meetings. So, we caught up with the president of the union while he was meeting with the teachers on Tuesday, and he had a mouthful to say, as always, and this is the highlight of the meeting that took place earlier on Tuesday at the John Lamely Center. Teachers are here at the John Lamely Center from early this morning. President Johnson,
Well, teachers are here gathered because of what is happening to them on a day-to-day basis. The injustices, the lack of communication, the lack of dialogue, and the lack of respect from various competent authorities. And that precedence being set by the government of St. Martin, we have reached out in many facets and many opportunities have been granted where we seek dialogue and have constructive opportunities for government to address the issues such as the outstanding vacation allowances, the outstanding matters that have been facing teachers in terms of the remuneration packages, the issue of the vacation days, the DPE summer school program that still has to be paid, as well as the underlying issue now of the pensionable age of 67 becoming a reality. Those, in our opinion, is totally unacceptable, and as the government of St. Martin has been able to pay in the past vacation allowances in the past to go to Parliament to amend the laws, we are saying at this opportunity you can go and do it one more time again and pay the outstanding. Subsidized schools have been able to receive all of the outstanding vacation allowances in full. There is a disparity and an indifference where it concerns public education and with instructing the minister and the ministers responsible with the support of the coalition to do what is right and make sure that teachers receive their outstanding vacation allowances. In addition to that, the incoming vacation allowance for this school year that is expected, we expect it to be received by June 15th and expect that to be a guarantee for every school year going forward without any sort of risk or liability for that issue in particular. In addition to those points mentioned, we also have to discuss the issue of salary increments and the indexing of salaries. Many persons are reaching a pensionable age within the near future, which in a year or so, and those calculations are of utmost importance. It's reflective of their pension, as well as some of us who are still going through the system and have some years left. What will that look like as we go forward if that's not calculated properly and in an adequate manner? So salary increments is a concern, the indexing of salaries, how will that affect current employees and those going on the pension age now coming up, as well as the vacation schedule. The vacation schedule being the last point of contention is that as it concerns the vacation schedule for the 2023-2024 school year, the start date is a record-breaking start, which is July 31st, the week of availability for schools. We consider that to be unacceptable. We've sent a communication and had a committee within the Y2 that worked on looking at the regulations and all of that concerns adjusting and amending the vacation schedule. Truth be told, the discussion took us with the minister that there was no error in the vacation schedule. We're not saying there was an error in the terms of the technicality of it. What we're saying is the spirit of the discussion. The minister, as the competent authority, has the political power, and if there was a will to do so, can change and amend the vacation schedule accordingly. Instruct your department to change the vacation schedule. Let school start, as we have proposed, more than likely by August the 10th of this school year upcoming, which is the 23-24 school year, and ensure that teachers do have a decent summer break. We have given you an opportunity to have dialogue, but when you shove the concerns on the side and when you pretend you're not aware of the challenges, we are going to address them. One of the outcomes of this meeting is a document that was sent and will be sent to subsidized schools as well as the minister. The minister was unaware, including the Prime Minister, of the challenges of education. I am totally taken aback by that because having come from within the soul of Y2, I can't imagine the Prime Minister or the Minister of ECYS, as they've adamantly said in the past, not being aware of the challenges in education. So we have had small in-house work group sessions where per school the challenges have been listed for government schools as well as for subsidized schools. That is going to be provided to the respective stakeholders. In addition to that, I have sent a letter to the Prime Minister, and she's already received it in her inbox, that we will take no acceptance of any intimidation of whatsoever to any member of the white. We have seen, for instance, that the start date for school was actually supposed to be today, January the 7th. Actually, it's February. So in public education, that was an interesting message that went out. But that, in my opinion, is a semblance of intimidation. ILO Convention, the UNESCO recommendations on teachers makes it very clear what is due to them and their right to organize, collective bargaining, tripartite consultations, and making sure that they're duly represented through their union, which is the Y2.
How long will these sessions take place?
Until there is an audience and a proper addressing of the concerns by the membership. The resolution is already that we'll continue to be here and do what we have to do until our voices are heard and the matters are addressed in a professional, adequate, and timely manner.
What do you think of the email that was sent out yesterday by the minister stating that school is on?
Well, besides it being an error in the date, I think it very interesting because, like I said, January the 7th was not actually the start of school for today, was the 7th of February. And with that being said, we see here by the large turnout to a packed John Larmony Center Hall that teachers are frustrated, teachers are fed up, and they need to be respected and not neglected.
So, what does it mean? It means that the meetings will continue during school hours. So, the Minister of Education, Culture, Youth and Sport, Rudolph Sambel, please sit down with the union. Prime Minister, sit down with the union. And let me fix this thing because we don't need this thing to get bigger than it already is. The teachers want concrete answers. So far, you have managed to lie to them by telling them that they would get paid for the summer program, for example, by a certain time. Time passed, nothing happened. You also knew of some of the grievances that they have to continue to go through on a daily basis in their schools. And as a former educator, Minister, you should know better. Prime Minister, same thing. She was a school manager before she was a teacher. So a teacher, school manager, now the Prime Minister. You see how how St. Martin is the land of opportunities, but then they quickly forget the struggle of public education. They're still waiting for a laptop. They're still waiting for the digitization board. Yes, they ain't get it yet. But promises were made and nothing was concrete. So therefore, please, Minister, sit down with the union and let's get this situation fixed, because our children supposed to be our, what's the word that they use during election? Future. Oh, yes, the future. Well, the future isn't having any classes now because you pissed off the wrong ones. All right? Good luck to all the teachers, and I hope that this situation is fixed as soon as possible. As soon as possible. What else is happening on the lovely island of St. Martin? On Monday, Mark Mingo had his weekly program whereby he had special guests, the tallest member of parliament and his leader, Rolando Brison. I have the opportunity of hosting that for Radio St. Martin. So I was the one to ask questions, and I asked the good gentleman of the United People's Party, what is the difference between the UP and the DP? And this was his answer. I know that voters would want to know the distinction. Is there a distinction? Is it more or less of the same? I'm sure that MP Brison would be answered. So just to give listeners an idea that this is not just, two of the same parties.
No, well, I think one of the clear distinctions, some people are commenting already and seeing the difference. Look at the difference, let's say, since the Democratic Party rolls out, what the focus has been. What have you heard on interviews? All you hear is a bashing and this and that and pointing fingers. And what are you hearing here today? Work, ideas, social issues, economic development. The key difference is some of them talk the talk, but we actually walk the walk. We actually do the work. We actually put in the issues. We have a track record. You can go on the website of Parliament and see all my amendments. You can go to Minister Otley's Facebook page and see all that he has done. You can see Minister Lambrick's, what he's already doing. You can look at Mark Mingo's resume and see the work. It appears that the Democratic Party seems to feel that the old days are just kind of rah, 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 and we go work for the people. Yeah, how? What are you going to do? I have yet to hear one thing, one tangible thing. Going on a month now. Okay, what are you bringing for the people? What? Give me the specifics, or show me what you're doing even right now in Parliament. What you see, for example, there's a very clear distinction. We had a motion on Mullet Bay. The motion on Mullet Bay is to make sure that the inquiry finishes on Mullet Bay finishes between 4 months, and that in between that time, we ensure we have first right of refusal to pass it. The UP party supported a motion from MP Emmanuel, an opposition member, but it's a good motion, we support it. What did the Democratic Party do? Walk out. That's the distinction. If we believe that we support something and it's good for St. Martin, even if it comes from an opposition member like Emmanuel, I will support it. In their case, if they believe it's not good for themselves, they're not going to support it. And that's the clear distinction. I'm being very frank and blunt about that. And if anyone wants to, if any one of them want to challenge that in Parliament, well then speak in Parliament. Tell the people why you voted against giving Molly back to the people. Tell the people why you're not speaking about the truth that happened in Diamond Estate. This is the type of thing that we are focused on politically. And I always tell our candidates, when it comes to these type of things, I want them to continue to just focus on their initiatives, focus on reaching to the people. And if I got to be the bad guy in the eyes of Democratic Party, I can take it. Lord knows I've taken it for the last 3 years. This is chicken feed compared to what I've dealt with before.
MP, help us arrive. Help us arrive.
But I still want you to stay focused on what you're doing, because they're going to try to trap you and, oh, mingo this, mingo that. It is also important for all of us to stay focused, because what they love about you, what they see in you, is that you're not going down in the mud with nobody. You're staying above the fray, and you know what you're capable of, so you don't have anything to prove to anyone other than this is what we're going to do.
So maybe I can add some words as well. For example, the relationship with the Mullet Bay saga. What I've done as well is when the MP was busy, it was his initiative with the inquiry with Mullet Bay. And congratulations again, it passed with the what you call it, resolution now in Parliament? Motion passed with a motion. I was very critical. I said I don't agree fully on the motion, because what you're not answering also the interests of the Enya policy holders. A lot of people on Simata and government-owned companies have policy holding a pension. If you play around with Mullet Bay property, and that's why I'm glad that government is taking control, Parliament is taking control, they're also protecting the interests of the policy holders. If something happens to Mullet Bay, people are going to lose their pension in Enya corporation. So that is my role. My role is going to continue to be critical. I'm going to stay focused, but I'm going to bring some good structural add-ons in decision making. How I see my role is to improve the decision making process. That's one. I've been through it all when you talk about good corporate governance, and we're not going to touch base on that.
Well, there you had it. A mouthful. Welcome to the Late Night Show. We have a good one for you. Let's begin.